You are never going to be good enough to start the project you really want to make. This is something that took me a long time to realize as I was chasing tutorials, studying the fundamentals, realizing my story is, frankly, really bad, scrapping my ideas, and it's also partly to blame for me stopping my creative work for around 15 years. But it took me far too long to realize why I would never be good enough to start and how to fix it. Hey, I'm Awkward Penguin, and I want to share how I answered the problem of never being good enough to start. So let's begin. The biggest thing that held me back for so long was needing the experience to be good enough to do what I wanted to do. Which, if you live in society, well, this is a mentality of so many companies. Thankfully, you are your own boss in this project. If you need experience, you can just give it to yourself. Just do it. It sounds too easy, so let's break down what I actually did. First, I removed all my expectations, and I set some easy-to-fulfill goals. I was fully expecting this part to backfire, but it actually helped. The scope was pretty small. A short 1-minute animated film, no voices, no people, and I gave myself about a year. Bird of Prey is what I came up with. That short I submitted into an online animated shorts competition hosted by Howard's Wimshurst. I'll put a link to the description of both the short and his channel below. I had learned so much by just setting my ego aside, getting rid of my expectations, and just creating. I look back, and for sure there's a ton that I could have done better. Things I would change, but I finished a product. I actually completed something that I really wasn't ready for. But it wasn't the project that I wanted to do. There's been a story that I've wanted to tell ever since before my 15-year hiatus. I still knew I wasn't ready for that story. It took me around a year of floundering before I forced myself to get out of my comfort zone again. If I couldn't tell the story that I wanted to tell, maybe I could tell a story from the same world. That's how Blackstone The Choice was created. It's a prequel to the story that I really wanted to tell. I set up some goals for the time frame, 5 minutes, 3 designed characters, anything else would be either off-screen or very generic. This is also the first time I did some voice acting. I voiced many of the lines. My brother ended up voicing the rest. I gave myself 2 years, but it really only took me about 8 months to complete. The project definitely scratched an itch. It was something in the world. It was something directly leading up into the start of the story I wanted to tell. But I still had concerns that I wasn't ready. And animation takes a really long time. By now I'd gained a lot of confidence though, and I started a What If series for a Dragon Ball title called What If Piccolo Died to Raditz instead of Goku? And in the 2 chapters I created, I detailed the major differences that would have taken place, and they are numerous. It's on hiatus now, but I'll eventually get back to it. Finally, we get to the current day. In December 2024, around the holidays, I started working on my actual story, the one that I've been dreaming about now for over 2 decades. And while I still don't feel ready to start this project, I started it anyway. The only way that I'm going to get good enough to complete my projects is by starting the projects and then finishing them. If you're interested in seeing how production is going, you can subscribe to the channel. I make a video a week where I put out status updates. I'm also looking at doing more of these videos in the future. Blackstone and all of the other projects that I've mentioned are going to be linked in the description, and I would love if you checked them out. I'm just an awkward penguin, and thank you for watching until the end.